All right, so everything is a giant mess right now because I'm working on like 17 projects at once. And so one project I'm starting is working on these tote bags for the kids at my church. So we're making little tote bags. These ones don't have the straps yet, but this one is the Good Shepherd. So I'll have
Shepherd.
Wherever it went, I have a book that goes along with this theme and some toys. Thank you. And some toys. And then I have a Noah's Ark one. So I bought a Noah's Ark and then made this bag like to the specifications to hold the Ark. So this one is a lot bigger. And then I've cut out pieces for Fruit of the Spirit, for Daniel the Lion's Den, and Jonah. And I have toys for all of those and books. Or if I don't have them, I've ordered them. And then the ones for the 2 and 3-year-olds are going to be they're not going to be themed the same way. These ones are for the kids in the nursery. So under 2 years old. So these are the straps I've already cut out. So I just need to like finish putting this all together. Today is currently Tuesday, and this week is insane because, sorry, please don't judge my sweatpants. I am like doing too much work to be worrying about wearing jeans today. So today's Tuesday, and I'm supposed to have all of this done by Sunday. And on top of the bags for the little kids, I'm having folders. This was just my prototype, so this isn't actually going to be one of the ones for the kids. It kind of has a hodgepodge of stuff in here, but I'm making folders, like a visual schedule.
Mama.
What? I'll have memory verses in there, biblical affirmation coloring sheets, as well as a few things that I put together myself, sermon notes, whatever. And so I have stuff that I need to print. I have stuff that I need to cut and laminate. And what I have in there right now is not the finished product either. Thank you. I have another document I need to completely make from scratch, which shouldn't take too long. And then I have some of the documents I need to finish, or I need to like switch them out every quarter. So I need to just keep making different variations of them. But I also want to include my file folder activities in there. So I need to, which that's going to take forever. There's no way I'm going to include those this week or probably even this month. But I have a bunch of file folders already made for littler kids. I need to make some for older kids, but regardless, just like all the cutting, laminating, putting all the Velcro on, like all of that is going to take hours. So, I still have tons and tons of work to do for all of that, but I'm going to go ahead and get to cutting the rest of these bags. And then this week is insane because we actually have our market this weekend as well. And so I'm trying to make stuff for the market, and I have like a sewing project that I'm doing for the market. So lots to do. That's part of the reason my basement looks like this right now. Because like I said, I have like 3 projects going on at once.
Mama.
Yes, honey.
Leopard.
Huh?
Leopard.
What?
Leopard.
I want to do one more of this bigger size.
Okay.
Where to cut it from? Where makes the most sense? So as you guys can see, I'm really I'm not doing anything very precise or perfect. These bags are just gonna get played with by small children, so I don't really care if they're perfect. I don't really have time to make sure they're perfect, and you know, then it kind of takes the pressure off if it gets messed up. It's not like it was this masterpiece, it was just a random little bag. And I've been really on a mission. I have tons of scrap fabric, and I've been on a mission to use it all up. I got it. Most of it was from an old lady on Facebook Marketplace, and I got a giant bag for like 20 bucks. So that's what I'm using to make this and make, or this fabric might be from somewhere else actually, but still just scrap fabric, not really usable for a lot of things. This piece was big, but most of my other pieces are really, really small. Okay, like, you're not doing much with that. So I've been just on a mission to find little things that I can make to use up the scrap fabric. So yeah, but it just kind of takes the pressure off, and it also helps to save fabric from a landfill. So that's kind of my goal. I have, like I said, a few different things I'm using it for, including the project. Hold on. Don't interrupt, please. This, and then the project for the market, and also an additional project as well, which I have been making very, very slow progress on, but hopefully I'll get there one day. I just honestly can't be bothered to measure and pin and cut perfectly straight lines, and I just don't really care that much. And even I usually am pretty lax about this stuff, and my projects usually turn out fine. So. All right, that was my last cut. So other than the straps, so now I can sew up all the bags, attach the 2 sets of straps I have, and then I can cut and attach the rest of the straps, but I can't do that today. So that's all I can do for this project right now. I have to go back to my other project, finish that up, and then I can go back to this. So hopefully I can get back to this today. If not, then tomorrow or maybe the next day. We'll see. Like I said, it's a busy week, but I have a lot to get done. So
Done.
A lot to get done. Yep. So, oh gosh, hold on. This is the visual schedule I was talking about. So it just goes through the order of worship service. So the kids can mark off like when we sang and when we prayed and when we did the Lord's Supper. Just because it can really be helpful for them to understand, you know, like what we're doing and why we're doing it, and they can see that there's like always an order and a consistency to things. And I think it will also just really help them with, I don't know, sometimes when you're a little kid, you feel like church is just going to go on and on forever. So this can kind of just help them gauge where we're at in services. And, you know, some kids may not need that. Some kids may be able to just kind of wait patiently and engage in the worship service and not really think about how much longer it's going to be. But I feel like it's human nature, and especially nature for kids. Like, they want to know when something is, you know, like when we're going to be somewhere, when it's time to move on to the next thing, which I feel like is a very natural thing for children. But it can be kind of looked at as a shameful thing if parents constantly are having to say, no, it's not done, it's not done. And, you know, and the kid's like, is it over? When is it going to be over? How much longer? So should just avoid that whole discourse, hopefully. Giving them this schedule so they can see for themselves what else we still have to do. And I know, like, I'm constantly telling my 3-year-old, she's like, you know, which this wouldn't really be to help her so much, but she knows, she's always saying, like, time to sing? No, first we got to do this. Or she'll say, oh, it's all done. I say, no, first we're going to do announcements, and then we'll pray, and then it'll be all done. So anyways, I'm working on that. I have my laminator heating up over there, so I just have to put all of these, this is the rest of them, I have to put these in the lamination strips, laminate them, and then I'll have to like cut around the edges and then cut the flaps. But I have all of these ones that also need the Velcro, little Velcro dots. So still have a lot of work to do on them, but they're getting there, and yeah, we're getting there. Time I updated you guys, but I have been making a little bit of progress on these tote bags. I have sewn, so I have one bag completely done. I guess I can show you. So this is the bag that's completely done, cut, sewn, straps, writing, the whole thing. So it just obviously needs to be filled. So that one's done. These ones are for the nursery age kids, so under 2 years old, these little ones, and then I have bigger ones for the 2 and 3 year olds, and I have 4 of these cut and sewn with the writing on them. They just need straps. The straps are the hardest part and they take me forever, so I've been kind of like procrastinating them, but I have 4 of these bags to this stage, and then one that still needs, it's only been cut, so I still need to finish that, as well as the small bags. I have a few that are cut, but that's it. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the straps for the Noah's Ark bag. And then I just have a lot of like last minute things that need to be done. I need to make sensory bottles for some of them. I need to, I have a wooden toy that I want to hot glue some felt to so it's not super loud. And then I just need to like disinfect things and stuff. I just have a lot of last minute stuff. So I'm still procrastinating because I still don't want to do these straps, but I need to. So let me go ahead and do these really quick. And I'm too lazy to set my tripod up, so I'll find a place to stick you. This is actually not a bad place. Like, I'm just always so used to like doing it from the other side so that you don't kind of see all the mess and Rosie playing, but it's actually not that bad of an angle, so okay, cool. So I'm not actually sure how long that took me to make these, but I'm pretty sure that was a lot faster than the ones I made the other day. So that's good that as I'm doing more of them, I'm becoming more efficient. But I will say the actual beast of it all was attaching them to the bag, just because it's like a lot of hand cranking for me. Because I don't know, maybe that's just because like I'm really nervous about getting it perfect, but for me it's a lot of hand cranking and it just takes a long time. So hopefully I can attach these pretty quickly, but
yeah, so then that'll be 2 bags done. My second bag done, and truly that did not take as long as the first one. I mean, it still wasn't like 5 minutes or anything. It still took quite a while, but yeah, it was a lot faster. So I'm definitely learning and just, yeah, getting faster. So that's really, really good. Hopefully this won't take me as many hours as I was thinking it will, but I still have 8 bags to go. So I'm doing 10 to start, and then I'm going to try to keep adding like a couple more each week, especially if I see that like they're all being taken. So I just knew like 10 was going to be a good place to start. So I will probably just check back in with you guys when I'm filling the bags, because this is going to get really redundant. Just know I'm doing it. I'm doing it all myself. I'm doing it all by hand, and it's taking forever. Okay? So, okay, this is just from when I hot glued something to the bottom of my Noah's Ark the other day. But now I'm making sensory bottles to put in the littlest bags, and I just bought a kit on Amazon, and I'm trying to find ways to make them a little bit more interesting. So this one, I dug out all the white pom-poms, and then I got a couple cotton balls. This one's for like the Lord's my shepherd, the Good Shepherd bag. And then I have this one that has a bunch of little pieces of fruit, and I want to look into getting a couple big pieces of fruit. The nice thing about these is like they're not really sealed, so I can always kind of go back in and add things. But for now, I just have these little pieces of fruit. But I think instead of filling this to the top with water, I'm going to get mineral oil. Or hold on, let me see what I have. Yes, it's mineral oil. So this has a different density than water, so it should hopefully have like a certain effect on, oh my gosh, kind of making a mess. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Let's see if that did anything. So it's Friday night now, so we have our market tomorrow, and then the next day is when I'm supposed to have all of this stuff done. So I don't really have, I have, the folders are all done. Well, for now, I'm going to keep adding to them over time, but kind of like the rough draft of them is done. And then, or not like the rough draft, but like the first phase. And then I have 2 bags completely done. I'm very close on all of the bags except 2. I haven't really started. I have everything cut out, but that's it. Okay, so that's cute, right? Like, even though there's not that many pieces in there, I feel like it's still pretty effective with the oil. If you like shake it a lot, it kind of carries them throughout the whole bottle. Nice. Yeah, actually that turned out a lot better than I was expecting. So this is for the Fruit of the Spirit bag. I wish I wouldn't have filled it as full because it is hard to shake, but okay. And then this is going to be the ocean bottle. So it has some glow in the dark pebbles and some seashells and some starfish. And I have blue glitter. This is the one I'm the most nervous about because I feel like once I do it, there's kind of no going back. But I want to do kind of a similar thing water, glitter, and then oil. But once I finish these bottles, ooh, I also decided I'm gonna put some little snackies in there for the littlest kids. Okay. Let me just see what this looks like without the oil. Okay, I hate that actually. I'm gonna add some oil. I think that will help. You can kind of see the pebbles like glow in the dark. I feel like the whole bottle needs to be like dyed blue instead of just kind of a small part of it. I feel like it needs to be like just dyed blue instead of glitter. But this is what it is for now. I mean, not bad. Oh. It was slippery from the oil. Okay, I'm by no means an expert at sensory bottles or sensory clay in general. So if you have any tips, let me know. All right, I have been hard at work on these bags and folders for the kids at church. This is just like a passion project for me. I just want everyone who is in attendance to be able to feel like they can be engaged or they can learn something. And so, yeah, so that's kind of like the purpose of the bags and the folders and stuff. So yeah, I've been really, really hard at work doing these things, and I want to show you guys some of what I've been doing. I've been very sporadic about like filming it and stuff. So this represents hours and hours of work that I have not even showed you guys at all, because I've just been like cranking away at it while doing quite a few other things. So if you've watched quite a few of my other videos, you know that I utilize file folders in our homeschool routine and when I'm teaching Bible classes at church. And so I decided to also utilize them for these bags. And so here's a fruit of the spirit, and I try to have them for many different ages. So I have this one. So it's essentially, they're just identical matching the fruit. And then I wrote the fruit of the spirit next to it, just, you know, for an introduction to it. And so I have one for the 2 and 3 year olds and one for the 4 and 5 year old age ranges. And then I also have the Velcro on the back so that when the kids are done, or when they first get it, it's on the back and then they can fill out the front. So it's not like already completed before they get it, if that makes sense. It's like a place to hold the pieces. So I have Days of Creation. I have 2 different forms. I have identical matching for the 2 and 3 year olds. You can see how these pictures are the exact same as these pictures. And then for the 4 and 5 year olds, I have the same pictures, but then they are matching the number. And so then the number has little indicators as well of like what was made on that day. And then I have these, which is essentially counting. So they count the number of apples and match it to the number on the tree. So this is number 1 through 5. And so that's for the 2 and 3 year olds. I have the same version for the 4 and 5 year olds, but then I have an additional one for the 4 and 5 year olds that goes up to number 9. All right, this pile's gonna get too high here in a second. Again, for the 2 and 3 year olds, God's Animal Rainbow. So this is essentially a color matching activity. Some of these have a lot more biblical tie-in than others, but especially the kids that can't read, like the 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 year olds, it's a lot harder to get like have the biblical tie-in very strong. So Noah's Ark animal match. I really like this one because this is like probably one of the more biblical ones for the 4 and 5 year olds. This will be, and so then I have the female version of the animal on the back, so matching the male and female. And so that's good because it's not quite identical matching, it's slightly different, but all the animals are very distinct that they should be able to do it. For the 2 and 3 year olds, are acts of worship, and so it's identical matching. Sorry if you can hear a lot going on in the background. My daughter's actually sick, so she's watching movies, and this is just the time that I have to do this. So hopefully it's not too bothersome. For these ones, this is for the 1st and 2nd grade, and I also have one for the 3rd and 4th grade. So I found that the 3rd and 4th grade was the most difficult grade for me to come up with stuff. So you'll see there's just a ton of crossover between the 1st and 2nd and the 5th and 6th grade. All like 3rd and 4th grade doesn't have like any of its own stuff. But so these for the spirit, they are matching the color of the word to the fruit. So this requires, I mean, it doesn't require reading, but you know, it's more for like kids that can read. So this gets into more of our older age stuff. And so this is a lot less colorful. And I do have ideas of how to make this exact same idea, but make it more like fun and colorful and interactive. But I just wanted to go ahead and get this stuff out there for them. So the stuff for the older kids, I mean, they're 5th and 6th graders, like they can handle it, but it is a little bit bland. So the 10 plagues, they just have to put them in order. So there they are. And I thought I had where it said Exodus 20 under here. Oh, no, that was the 10 commandments. I guess I forgot to cite for the 10 plagues. Anyways, and then this is the same thing, but for the 3rd and 4th grade. So they have to match the word to the picture. And so it's kind of nice if you think about some of these like progressing, like these children in a couple of years will be doing this activity. And so because they've had practice with this should be relatively easy for them. So, and then landmark chapters. So these are just like good things to know, like kind of where things are in the Bible. So we've got creation, the Sermon on the Mount, the beginning of the church, the birth of Christ, the first Lord's Supper, things like that. And so then we have the book and chapter on the back for them to match. And that is for the 5th and 6th grade. I don't know if I said, but the picture version of the 10 plagues was for 3rd and 4th grade. But and then this one is also for 5th and 6th grade. It's putting the 10 commandments in order. This is for the 2 and 3 year olds or the 4 and 5 year olds. I think I showed you that one already. And then God's plan for salvation, and then the scripture sightings for each of those. So I have this for 3rd and 4th and for 5th and 6th as well. So, because I figured it's only 6 verses to look up, so it shouldn't be that hard for them to be able to match that. So that's what we have for those. And then I wanted to show you guys how I have been packing the bags. So this video I've been filming over the course of weeks, and really I'm only filming the final stages of it. Like I've been conceptualizing and planning and buying things for a really, really long time now. And so I've actually been taking bags to the church. Like this stuff's already been in use. So none of them have these file folders yet. So I need to start introducing these. So each age group is going to get like 2 or 3 to start with, and I'll just put those in the folders, and I'm going to keep trying to make more to fill up the rest of the folders, but I can only do so much at a time. And then I've been taking the bags over slowly just because, you know, I figure if 1 or 2 kids gets to play with it, then that's better than no kids, and sometimes they share, so that's good too. But I want to show you guys how I've been filling the bags as well. All right, again, I'm so sorry for all the noise, and I know if you can see at all, which you really can't, but it is a mess down here because it has been an explosion of projects for me recently, so I just have a ton going on. But yeah, so I'll show you how I fill my 2 and 3 year old bags. They're pretty much all the same. I have a folder for them, so the folder holds the
paper activities. So for the 2 and 3-year-olds, it's just the coloring sheets and then a visual schedule, which I need to add the Velcro pieces to this. And then also a file folder will go in behind this as well. So that's a complete 2 and 3-year-old folder. And then, which actually I'm gonna leave that out so that I can remember to put the Velcro pieces. And then I got these lacing activities. I don't know if I showed you guys these yet, but these lacing activities for the kids. So it works on fine motor skills. They're beautifully illustrated. I got these from Dayspring, and I just ordered them online. I don't know if you can get them anywhere else. But then here's another one. This one's on God and his creation. And so it says it on the back, like what it is and where to find it in the Bible. Daniel and the lions. And then actually I have a couple more right here. I think that these are so beautiful. And like I said, they work on fine motor skills. This is the parting of the Red Sea. Jonah and the big fish. The Noah and his ark. So they're just really beautiful. They work on fine motor skills. They teach a little Bible story. And that can take a kid quite a while. And then each bag also has a book. So here's another example of a book that I might put in. But this is the book that's going in this one, Faith is Strong. This is actually a really cute little book. And then more of the board books are actually going in the nursery ones. And then like more paper page ones are going in the 2 and 3-year-olds. And then I have a little bag of crayons to color their page. So right now that's all that goes in the 2 and 3-year-old bags, but with more, you know, like these are a work in progress. So this is just kind of like the first level of what I'm doing, and then we'll add more as time goes on. But like I said, I just wanted to put something out there to start, and we can always add and replace. And in fact, that's actually what this bag is it's kind of like all of my extra little bits and pieces. For instance, I have this, which I might do. So it's like a color matching activity and like little wooden blocks, but it's also like it could be for a God's promise, like God keeps his promises themed bag. I have the Prodigal Son book that I can put in a bag. I have like the nativity scene toy that I can put in one. I have a Fruit of the Spirit bag, so this is just the leftover fruit that I have. And also some of this stuff I use for Bible classes as well, so it just kind of switches in and out. But so then here's my Jonah bag, and this is pretty much my complete version of the Jonah bag. Obviously, it will still be tweaked as time goes on, but I have this little Lego whale that its mouth opens, and I have a little Lego person, and he fits inside there. So that's perfect for Jonah. And then I always include a book. So if I don't have a book this is the nursery themed bags. So the nursery bags are themed to like stories. If I don't have a book for it, then I don't do it, because I want it to not just be, I don't know, I feel like this makes it a little bit more cohesive and educational. So I put the book in there. I have my little toy that they can act out what was happening in the book. And then for this one specifically, I also have a little sensory bottle. So this one's just supposed to kind of be like water themed. It has little shell pieces in there. It has glow in the dark little pebbles and then blue sparkles. So they can shake it and watch the stuff in there move around. For some reason it's like clumping together. I made this like 2 weeks ago, so it just needs to be shaken up, I think, for a bit. But yeah, so that's that sensory bottle. So that's fun for little kids. I don't think they'll be old enough to take these caps off, but like parents hopefully should be keeping an eye on them. So then and then I always add a snack in these bags as well. So I try to keep the snack on theme. So for the Jonah bag, we're gonna have goldfish as the snack. For the Good Shepherd, I put marshmallows in there. For the Fruit of the Spirit, you could do a bunch. I could do fruit snacks. I could do
like banana chips. Right now we have freeze-dried strawberries, which isn't my favorite, but that's what Aldi had, so that's what we got. But I try to keep them on theme as much as possible. Animal crackers are easy to fill in for a lot of them. That's what I have in my Noah's Ark bag. And then, yeah, I think that's it for now. But yeah, so that's how I fill the bags. And yeah, I think that's really all I wanted to show you guys. Obviously, like I've been kind of alluding to, this is still a work in progress, so I'm by no means done, but I wanted to show you guys what I have finished, and I feel like our kids are already really benefiting from it. I know Rosie uses them and she loves them. She uses the bags right now because she's 3, and so I don't know, I feel like it's been really good for us and we've gotten a lot of positive feedback. So if you have a use of something like this for your congregation, I totally encourage you to maybe try something like this, or maybe put a team together to try something like this. It is a ton of work. I have probably put upwards of 100 hours into these, just between like creating material online, printing, cutting, laminating. I made these bags from scratch, obviously, so that takes a lot of time. So, I mean, there's ways that you can, in my hunt for things, I found a lot of file folders on Etsy or Teachers Pay Teachers. So you could potentially just like buy stuff instead of making it from scratch. You can obviously buy tote bags to make it cheaper, or to make it less time consuming. So there's a lot of things that you can do, but those things will add expenses, obviously, which I was trying to do this on a bare minimum budget. It was still relatively expensive, and it's kind of an ongoing cost with like printing things, continuing to make more bags. I want to make more bags and more file folders and things to switch out during different quarters. And even like lamination paper, Velcro, all of that can be a huge expense when you kind of add it all up. So, but yes, I feel like this has really blessed people around us, and I'm just honestly so proud because this was a really big accomplishment for me to pull all this off. And of course my husband helped me a ton, and I really appreciate it, and some other members of my family helped me a little bit here and there, but overall it's just been a really big undergoing for me, and I'm just really proud that I did it. Like, I've put so much time and effort. And I know I've been rambling for a minute, but I just want to close out to say this, that I didn't do this because I wanted any glory at all. In fact, like, people at my congregation don't even know that I'm necessarily the person that did this. I think a lot of people suspect, but I refuse to take any credit. Like, no one has announced my name with this. And when anybody says, "Hey, did you do this?" I say, no, it was all my husband. I don't want to take any of the credit. And I don't put this stuff out on YouTube to take credit or to get any glory for myself at all. I just wanted to encourage you that actually this idea came from, I was thinking about like the parable of the talents in the New Testament, and how like there was one who's given 1 talent, and one given 5 talents, and one given 10 talents. And how, the 10 talent person went and they used the talents, invested them, and they came out with 20 talents, and the 5 talent person came out with 10. But the 1 talent person went and buried their talent, and they were reprimanded by the creator, essentially, by the boss, the guy that gave him the talents. And the talents were like a term for like money back then, but obviously it's very like applicable to how we use talent or like skill or resource today. And so I was just really thinking, like, I've been learning to sew. How can I use that talent to bless someone in the church? Because I'm not always great at having like individual Bible studies or like encouraging people. That's not always a big strong suit of mine. I'm not always able to take food to people or help people watch their kids, or like there's things that I have limitations on. But one thing I can do is sew, and there's not a ton of young people who have the time and everything to invest to do a big project like this. And I was like, I have the time. That's a blessing God has given me because I don't work full time. I'm able to sew. I have a sewing machine. I have a ton of scrap fabric that I wanted to use anyways. As far as like putting together the folders and the file folders and stuff, I have experience doing that when I worked at the school, and had to put resources together for my kids. And I worked with kids with autism and ADHD, and so I feel like I was able to implement like my knowledge about kids with disabilities into these folders as well. And so I just was like, it all just came together for me of like, these are the talents I have, and this is something I can create with those skills and talents and resources and blessings that I have. So this is what I decided to do. And you know, not everybody has the same skill set or the same resources that I do, but I just really encourage you to think about what talents God has given you or what resources he's blessed you with, and just think really long and hard about how you can use those to bless other people around you, because at the end of the day, that is why God gave you those skills and talents, and it's up to you to make sure that you use them correctly and you don't bury them in the ground like the parable tells us. I just really wanted to leave off with that encouragement, and I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching this video. It always means a ton to me when you guys watch. It means a ton to me when you guys reach out and comment or like the video, and it's obviously a huge blessing to me when you guys subscribe as well. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a blessed rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video.